What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Galactic Squids. I am here joined with my friend Hey Boy Blue. Hey Boy Blue, what's up?
How's it going, chatters?
6-6. So today we have got a little VGC analysis. We're gonna be analyzing the set of Jack Clark and Federico Camporese from the side station on day one. Um, don't think a ton of people saw this game, and it was super fun and super cool. First, I wanted to go over the teams a little bit. Jack Clark with his he ended up making top 4 with this team. He's run this team since the first go around of Reg F. Grimmsnarl, Okidogi. Uh, just reveal the curtain. We're close friends with Jack Clark, so we've been seeing this for years. We've got a whole
We are Jack
Okidogi.
Clark's ultimate hype men team server, the whole shebang.
Yeah, we've got Okidoki emotes in the Discord. But this team's really fun. It is very much set up like Grimmsnarl screens, Okidoki lives everything, and then you got a couple of setup options with that, and then a couple of different utility options, right? Inte with a burn, and then some extreme speed to like pick off low HP targets, and then Roaring Moon to set up a Tailwind mode.
The fun thing about Okidogi is that, especially in Reg F, it is very much the bolt balance killer. It completely blocks Incineroar from doing shenanigans. It counters Rillaboom. Raging Bolt doesn't want anything to do with it because it's AV, and if a Terra Fairy's Gunk Shot is basically a one hit, if not two, at KO.
Yeah, and even pre-Terra, like you don't want to get hit by a high horsepower either, especially if it's +1 from an Incin.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
Everything here is
Grimmsnarl. This
just
Terra is different. It used to be Steel.
I understand the grass because Amoonguss has been picking up because it's also really good at dealing with bolt balance.
Absolutely. And Terra Steel was like to counter Fluttermane specifically. I guess it countered Golden Go, so it would have mattered in that top 4 matchup. But you're still probably not committing your Terra on this most of the time. And it's fine with like, because like Intake could eat an Amoonguss, Ogerpon's immune. Having just another immunity on your setup option is really good. And then we have Federico Camporese's team. It's got the Indeedee with Rocky Helmet, Incineroar with Assault Vest, Rapid Strike Urshifu with the Focus Sash, Booster Iron Crown, Life Orb Landorus, and Ogerpon Wellspring. I like this team a lot. I've played a lot with Iron Crown Expanding Force. Played around with it. It's good. It really, you need to pick your spots. And you need to have answers for Incineroar, because Incineroar hard checks that entire core. But with Urshifu Rapid Strike and the double up on the water types with Ogerpon, and the Landers too, you've got your answers there kind of set.
Yeah, it's almost like a Psy spam archetype, but of course, none of the Pokemon here really take advantage of Trick Room, even though it is on the Aditi, but that's mainly just to counter other Trick Rooms, because, of course, this is Gen 9. Trick Room's a strong archetype and will always be as long as Ursaluda exists.
Yeah, do we know what booster it was?
Uh, I think it was no, it was speed, because it's Calm Mind, so.
Calm Mind, yeah, with the speed booster, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool, cool, cool. You don't see much of the size spam mode this set. Spoilers, it's really just Instant Urshifu. Because it's had a really hard time into Roaring Moon.
Yeah,
But
the Terra
without...
Water and Okidoki is also really nice because you can pick your choices to resist either close combat or surging strikes from Water or Shifu, so.
Yeah. Well, let's get into it. I think they just kind of throw you in the game.
Yeah, there is no fanfare. It's just straight action.
Yeah. Lagging a little bit.
But yeah, if you haven't seen Jack Clark's run, you absolutely should. It was amazing to watch. Plus, it's also just very fun to see, a Pokemon like Okidoki, which gets, you don't really see it play it at the top level at all, being able to just show off what it really does. It 1v1 a Galarian Moltres in top 8, so like,
Uh-oh. I might have to edit this video a little bit. It says it starts right now. There it
we
is.
go.
Yep. Throwing it in. Ogerpon here. Let's see if I do this. Sorry, does this make it less laggy? No. This is fine though.
Yes. So this I've played with Jack's team a little bit. As you see here, it is, you know, the Grimmsnarl Roaring Moon lead, which is basically, you know, the I don't know what my opponent is going to lead with, so I'm just gonna do the, you know, the everything setup lead I have. Screens, Tailwind, knockoff with Roaring Moon, everything is there to.
Yeah, it's your two supports. One of the fun things about this Roaring Moon is it is attack booster by default. So even after you get the Tailwind or screen set up, like knockoff and acrobatics are gonna be hurting. But a fun interaction with it is if you get intimidated turn one, like they lead Incineroar, that booster energy becomes a speed booster. So then you have super fast Tailwind, and then you could just be spreading knockoffs even at -1.
Yeah. And as you saw, this is acrobatics Roaring Moon. Even at -1, especially with Terra Fairy, acrobatics still does a lot. Roaring Moon is strong. It's just usually not used as, you know, an attacker, but it definitely can put out damage if you're not careful.
Yeah. I like the play here to, instead of going for Tailwind, just to go for knockoff here on the Landorus. Get rid of that Life Orb, just reduce its damage really quick. And then with the Light Screen in combination with it, really just make this Landorus kind of sit here. Where you can basically like avoid that slot, mitigate a lot of its damage, and then focus down what they're doing on the other side.
Yeah, especially because, like, yeah, Sheer Force will still give a damage boost, but without that Life Orb, it's really not picking up those KOs it needs to.
Yeah. Even at -1 with the attack booster, that did half. That's nasty. And that was unfortunately a crit. It definitely needed the crit at not -1, but no Life Orb, non-stab, through Light Screen.
Yeah.
But it got what it needed. It got its one Light Screen, and now Landorus is kind of in a bad position.
Yeah, Landorus is no health. Its Life Orb is gone, and like, yeah, Jack didn't get all the screens up, but now Ogerpon could come in because Incineroar already gave its Intimidate, so Ogerpon's good to come in. And like, yeah, it might get faked out, but you also have to decide whether or not you want to fake out the Ogerpon or, you know, let Roaring Moon get a Tailwind up. This is also interesting. The Ogerpon's not Follow Me, it's Swords Dance. Usually you'd run Follow Me on a team like this, but Ogerpon is here to smack things with Crit Ivy Cudgel.
Yeah, it's one of the... This team has a lot of physical attackers, so like a good Intimidator or just a way to drop attack, like Breaking Swipe you saw in Talk 4, can really hurt this team. And Sword Stance is really like the one way to get around that. So Incineroar is going to be Intimidate cycling you or trying to just keep boosting up while they're doing that. They're going to click Parting Shot, then come back in. Oh, let me get +2 in one turn.
Yeah, and that's also where Okidogi comes in because it's the mind game of, do I want to bring an Incineroar or an Intimidator and then give Okidogi a boost? And Terraring here plays two functions, obviously. Give a boost to Ivy Cudgel, also get rid of your grass type, so Sludge Bomb's no longer super effective.
Also giving a special defense boost, so even further making this Landorus kind of null and void.
Yeah.
-1 acrobatics.
-1 non-Terra, non-stab acrobatics. Still does half Ogerpon. I don't know how Federico's Ogerpon was trained, but like, it's not frail by any means.
Yeah, absolutely. They did get the SD off, so they are +2 now. Spiky Shield going up here. I really like that play. Especially when you're in like a panic position, you say, oh no, this is a +2 Ogerpon in front of me. I have to take this thing out now. And so I think it's a really good play to, after you get your attack up, to kind of play defensively with it, because it puts a bigger target on its head.
Yeah, especially because this is also a great position because obviously Jack still hasn't put up Tailwind yet. That's still completely an option because Lando's not outspeeding Ogerpon whatsoever. I'm not sure again how Federico's Ogerpon is trained, but do you really want to risk it on a speed tie, or you just click follow me? Of course, going for the Terra here to match on Ogerpon. But even still, Ogerpon's still at +1. It is still going to hurt, especially if you don't, you know.
Yeah, I'm wondering about the Terra there. Like, it covers for maybe not dying to acrobatics that turn. But I think that's the only reason to, right? Because you lose water absorb.
Mm-hmm.
And Incineroar just goes down anyways.
Yeah, say +1 Ivy Cudgel. That Incineroar is going back to the team builder.
The Horn Leech hurts though.
But important, does not KO.
Yes.
Still have a +1 Ogerpon. There's no way to get rid of its attack boost now. And like, yeah, and since Federico Terra and Ogerpon, follow me's not gonna do anything, especially when Jack decides to click Horn Leech, like something. Like, yeah, we know the Urshifu is Sash, but since it's Sash, can't outspeed Ogerpon, can't outspeed Roaring Moon, can absolutely just free here to double whichever one you want, because Horn Leech plus Acrobatics will KO at both things on Federico's side, so really good setup here from Jack.
Right, hovering the Golden Go here for the switch in. I like it. Roaring Moon, you do get rid of your booster energy, but Roaring Moon outspeeds, I think, this entire team anyways, just naturally. Yeah. So you don't really need it. And you still have Tailwind up too. Yeah, and being able to get a good switch in here on the defensive turn.
Yeah.
Big Horn Leech into Urshifu, going down to Sash.
It also covers for the possible close combat to try and get rid of Roaring Moon. Because again, since it's Sash, not outspeeding Ogerpon the slightest.
Yep.
So it was getting a Horn Leech off.
Big close combat into Ogerpon, and it goes down.
But Ogerpon did exactly everything it needed to do.
Yep, it got a Sword Stance up, it got rid of Incineroar, and now Jack is set up.
It's like Urshifu's down to Sash, Tailwind's still up, full health, Goldango on the field.
And I think it's fun to note, Federico's still on the back foot here, so Cosmos is kind of banking off of, he's going to play defensively this turn, right? Like, the Focus Sash still went down on Urshifu. He kind of wants to prevent, or still keep Urshifu around a bit, so he's kind of reading, covering in case they don't protect, but then going for a nasty plot here. Whenever I saw this live, I thought it was a little bit of greed, but it ended up being exactly what he needed to do in this spot.
That's like sometimes, especially against, you know, players who are NAIC champions, you have to be greedy sometimes. You'll see, you know, the joke of VGC players, I would just click buttons. Sometimes you literally do just need to click buttons.
Yeah. Big Ivy Cudgel. Is that into the Roaring Moon? No, it's into the Golden Go. It lives. Citrus Berry is going to bring that back up.
Yeah. Ogerpon is strong, but not strong enough, especially without a Swords Dance or any way to boost attack. And Roaring Moon's faster than Lando. Lando can't do much, because the best thing it can do here is try and go for a Sandseer Storm.
And Tailwind is still up, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Landorus used to protect. That was a great call with the acrobatics into Ogerpon, calling that Landorus is going to protect. Being able to get this down and bring it into range. This is where the +2 mattered on the Make Your Rain. So if that was just raw Make Your Rain, I don't think it would have KO'd the +1 special defense Ogerpon here.
Yeah, especially, I don't know, because there was also a crit on the acrobatics, which I'm not sure if it mattered or not. Definitely helped.
Absolutely, yeah.
And at this point, yeah. Roaring Moon is faster, Tailwind's down, but that's easy enough to set back up. But also light screen up, so Sandseer is not going to be able to KO Roaring Moon in time.
Yeah, writing's on the wall, then you see the forfeit. That's a sick game one. Positioning with the setup, I think was the big moment. I think the two biggest turns that got him momentum was the turn he clicked Sword Stance, and then the turn he clicked Nasty Plot.
Yeah.
I don't know why this is so laggy right now. Is it because I'm streaming and recording at the same time?
Maybe.
But I was doing this with Richie earlier. I don't know.
There's also a good way to see, because Jack knew what the threats were on Federico's team. Landorus and Incineroar. Making sure, though, immediately getting the knockoff turn one and then making sure Incineroar went down made it so that Federico really didn't have an answer to anything.
And then the hard read here, turn one, knowing the Incineroar was going to come. He leads the Okie Dokie, getting the attack boost. So now, me being a player here, if I'm piloting this team, I click upper hand on Incineroar every day of the week, right?
Yeah. We love upper hand. We love saying, nope, your fake out is irrelevant.
I like what the play he ended up going for here, because instead of upper hand, he did go for the Drain Punch into the Incineroar slot. Upper hand only covers for if the Incineroar goes for fake out, so if you upper hand and then Incineroar clicks any other button, Incineroar's going to get their move off for free. And especially if that's like a parting shot into Okie Dokie, you lose that attack boost you just got. But Drain Punch here covers every other button. It says you have to click fake out. It puts control in Cosmos' hand. So if the Incineroar does anything else besides fake out, they lose their Incineroar this turn.
Yeah.
And then the Terra Water also to cover the Surging Strikes into that slot as well.
Yeah. Okie Dokie's also pretty bulky as it is, so like close combat won't kill even if Jack Terras. So it's also good on that front as well. And like, yeah, the fake out, but also getting the Thunder Wave off on her Shifu, also insane.
It is massive, yeah.
It's Sash, so it is now being outsped by everything, including Goldango, so. And as you see, called out the Surging Strikes, that does negligible damage.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of resisted either way here. It's like, do they Terra and I click Close Combat, or do they not Terra and then I click Surging Strikes? And they went for the Surging Strikes and they got the Terra call right. Okie Dokie always outspeeds the Incineroar for the Drain Punch here. Yeah, come on. Kill the cat. You know you want to do it. You know you want to do it.
Also, and with the Thunder Wave, yeah, Okie Dokie also now outspeeds her Shifu, so it's a win-win.
Yep. Switching out the Urshifu, preserving the Focus Sash for later. Getting the Landorus in here. In a little bit of a rough position. Landorus not immediately threatened, but that's a one-hit KO on the Incineroar.
It should be threatened. And yeah, again, Incineroar is down. Ogerpon is now free to set up to its heart's content. And getting the Spirit Break off. Also, is a super fight against Urshifu, but also getting Lando down to -1. We take that every day of the week.
Yeah, it's just insane option coverage with that Spirit Break.
And yeah, that was and because of Drain Punch, Jack has had no damage on any of his Pokemon. Federico's already down Incineroar, which you'll see was his only, defensive piece really on the team he brought. So
yeah, we've seen all the Pokemon, right? Urshifu, Landorus, Ogerpon. Now Cosmo's going for the Reflect here. Just to kind of mitigate damage from this Ogerpon. With the Assault Vest, and he hasn't set up Light Screen yet. But even with that, the double up. And then big Drain Punch here, get a little bit of HP back.
That's also a resisted hit, mind you. Okie Dokie strong.
Yeah, especially if you're +1 from Incineroar.
Yeah.
We're gonna see the Thunder Wave onto Ogerpon, which is gonna let Okie Dokie outspeed this next turn. Now it's just a matter of what do you hit Landorus with. It is interesting. I'm guessing he felt like Drain Punch was a roll to KO. Well, I guess Landorus already had the damage on it from switching into the Spirit Break, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, he did need to hit the skunk shots KO here.
And
Earth power on the Dogi still lives on 11.
And big gunk shot KO's Lando. Doesn't matter. Gunk shot being, 120 base power. Does not care.
Okie dokie goes down, but it has done more than its job here in this match.
Destroyed Incineroar, destroyed Lando. There really is no way for Federico to come back at this point.
And this Grimmsnarl is sat on the field and paralyzed everything. The rest of Frederico's team is paralyzed.
Yeah, Roaring Moon still has booster, set up Tailwind, Ogerpon's free to click Swords Dance. And Jack doesn't have Terra, doesn't need it at this point.
Well, Ogerpon kind of hard walls here, right? You have the water absorbed for the Urshifu, so the Urshifu's gotta be close combat into that slot. Yeah, Jack's just up so many resources. The game's not over yet. Urshifu does still have the Focus Sash. It can do something funny, but with the amount of Pokemon 2 to 3 and those two Pokemon being paralyzed, it's not looking good for Federico.
Yeah. Yeah, Jack is completely in the driver's seat in this game.
And that's kind of what you get with Okie dokie, right? You bring it and you get the attack boost off Incineroar, and then you're automatically in the driver's seat, right? It just brings so much control just from turn one, from Team Preview even.
Mind you, it's also the mental, getting completely called out and having, a +1 Okie dokie KO Incineroar is just well, what do I do now?
Yeah, a little bit of a side tangent. When I first started running that Okie dokie team, I clicked upper hand onto Incineroar using Fake Out once, and I got a one-hit knockout without a crit. That was such a drug, dude. When you get the upper hand off, it is crack. It is a drug. It should be banned.
Yep. Acrobatics takes Urshifu down to Sash again. At this point, it's just double it through Urshifu.
Just kind of styling on him, calling the defensive turn with the Ogerpon, right? And doubling onto the Urshifu.
And there is no way for Federico to win at this point. Because this is Follow Me Ogerpon, not Swords Dance. Roaring Moon just sits there and eats Horn Leeches and IV Cudgels all day, every day.
Yeah, well, and that's the power of Okie dokie. We were a little biased. Jack Clark is our boy, and we're always going to hype him up and talk him up every chance we get to. But thanks for joining. I'll catch you next time. If you like what we're doing, be sure to subscribe.
If anyone tells you Reg F is a solved meta, do not believe them. They are lying to your face.
Have a good night, everyone.